What's up everybody, welcome back. So it's Stufful Calm Day in Pokemon Go and hopefully you guys had an amazing and safe Calm Day. Obviously it's one of the first few Calm Days where the play from home has been nerfed. I was very lucky enough to be able to go out and play safely. Shoutouts to the Pokemon Go Bangalore community for hosting a meetup in Coven Park. It was just so much fun. But hope you all had a lot of fun too. So basically in this video I'm going to be featuring Drain Punch Bewear, which is the community day move for Bewear in the Retro Cup. So honestly, even though PvPoke recommends Superpower, I do believe the Drain Punch has play because Bewear is extremely glassy and obviously Drain Punch buffs up your defense, in which case Bewear can be really good at being able to close out games, right? Especially with Payback as well. Towards endgame, it really has a lot of versatility, especially considering that there are hardly any Charmers in the Retro Cup meta, right? So for this team comp, I'm going to be running it alongside Dragalge and Jellicent just to provide that overall coverage. And honestly, this team worked out really well for me. So let's just get straight into these battles. Okay, moving on to the first battle here, we have Dragalge into an Altaria, a pretty decent matchup because Dragon Tail is going to be doing super effective damage, but also taking a lot of damage from Dragon Breath. But the good thing is that Dragalge is going to be able to get to charge moves quick, and I'm going to go for the Aqua Tail here, even though it's resisted. It still does get the shield from the Altaria just because Dragon Tail is just doing so much damage, right? And at this point, because they gave up the shield, I'm not going to shield this. The play here is to just basically save as many shields for Bewear. Back with Altaria here, I'm going to come in with Jellicent. They're going to go for the Sky Attack, which is fine. And at this point, I'm going to try and completely farm down, right? Because we're going to have a lot of loaded energy here. And we almost have 2 Shadow Balls right now. And they actually come in with their Whiscash. I'm just going to go straight Shadow Ball here. I'm going to be able to get off 2 of these before they can get to a Mud Bomb. Shadow Ball does about 50% of Whiscash is held there. Gonna go for another Shadow Ball here. Let's see if they decide to let this go through. They decide to let this through as well. Immediately switching into my Bewear and try and Shadow Claw down. And they have a Hypno in the back, right? This is where it gets really tricky because again, Hypno is doing super effective damage with Confusion. But this is where having Payback is really going to help, right? Even though PvPoke recommends Stomp, Payback is just going to one-shot Hypno there because of that super effective damage, because of that Psychic typing. And yeah, it probably caught them off guard there. They're probably expecting a Drain Punch or a Superpower or something. But then again, that's where I think having Payback is really going to help, especially in the Retro Cup meta, because Dark types are banned. You can see a lot more Psychic and Ghost types, and they're not going to really expect Payback, right? Which is going to one-shot, obviously, most of the Psychic and Ghost types there. So we have Vigoroth in the lead. It's a good thing we caught this in the lead, because obviously Bewear does not have a great matchup against Vigoroth. Going for the Aqua Tail here, Dragalge has a decent matchup because, again, counter is resisted because of the poison typing. But still, Body Slam does a lot of damage. I'm going to try and get to an Aqua Tail here. Unfortunately, they get to another Body Slam. So I'm going to actually shield this up. And then I'm going to try and go for an Aqua Tail here, right? Just going to overfarm a little bit and then going for the Aqua Tail here. To hopefully win the lead right now, because I really want to win switch advantage as well. And they come in with their Jellicent here. This is perfect, right? Now I can line up my Bewear against their Jellicent. Bewear has a pretty solid matchup against Jellicent. Gonna try and get off as much damage with Aqua Tail and Dragon Tail as possible. Even though Aqua Tail is resisted, you can just see along with the Dragon Tail damage is doing so much, right, against Jellicent. Unfortunately, they're able to farm now. They have quite a bit of energy right now, but I don't really have to worry about it because we can soak up whatever this is. If they are running Ice Beam, it's going to be slightly tricky because that's going to do quite a bit of damage, but they are running Bubble Beam, which is perfect, right? Because again, Bubble Beam is really not going to do that much damage. Obviously, Shadow Ball is double resisted. So they're going to probably spam some Bubble Beams here, which is fine. I'm going to try and go for the Drain Punch, even though it's double resisted. It gets the shield. This is best case scenario, right? This is beautiful because at this point I can just let this go through as well. Our defense has been buffed, and then Bubble Beam again doesn't really do that much damage. They actually come in with their Lunatone, and I'm just going to go straight Payback here. This is again one of those other situations where Payback is really going to help, and even though it's been like triple debuffed, obviously going to be able to farm it down completely. Immediately go for the Drain Punch onto this Jellicent here. Again, this is double resisted on top of the fact that our attack has been debuffed as well, but it's okay because we're going to be able to Shadow Claw down there. Again, Bewear really putting in work there. Again, like I said, Payback is really going to help in this meta because a lot of people are not going to be expecting it, right? And which is why you see an increased number of Ghost types. Probably a lot. Altaria is pretty common as well, especially because both Steel and Fairy are banned for Retro Cup, right? So moving into the next battle here, we have another Altaria on the lead. Again, I'm going to overfarm a little bit and then go for the Aqua Tail right now. Once again, this is I've seen a lot of times that Altaria with Altaria leads that they do tend to shield the Aqua Tail simply because of how much damage Dragon Tail is doing, and they switch it to their Alolan Marowak, which is best case scenario. I'm going to go for the Aqua Tail. They do shield that, and this is perfect, right? They're basically giving up both shields here, and I can just come in with Bewear, go straight Payback right now. This is absolutely going to one-shot the Alolan Marowak, right? Super effective because of the Ghost typing once again there. And then Altaria is going to come back in. I'm just going to completely farm it down. It doesn't really... I'm just going to shield this up. Probably have to shield this twice because Altaria has a lot of energy. But it's okay. I'm going to completely Shadow Claw down there, right? Again, Dragon Breath is doing a lot of damage, but it's okay. I'm going to shield this up as well. And we should be able to farm down before they can get to another move here. So I'm going to be able to farm down. This is perfect. And they come in with Toxicroak. This is a kind of a tricky matchup because, again, Bewear doesn't have a great matchup against Toxicroak, but just see, I mean, Payback, even though it's resisted, does about like 60% of Toxicroak's health right there, right? And I'm going to be able to get off another Payback here. And even though it's resisted, it's going to be able to take out the Toxicroak there. Again, Bewear towards endgame, especially with this core, with the Jellicent and Dragalge core, Bewear is really working well as a closer, right, towards endgame. Again, we'll have to see how it performs in the Open Great League. I feel like that's going to be its true test, given the fact that that's a lot more open meta, and with Pokemon like Azumarill, this moveset may not be that viable, right? But anyways, we have Dragalge into a Serperior. Best case scenario, Grass is double resisted by Dragalge because of the Poison Dragon typing, and Leaf Tornado hardly does anything. Unfortunately, we get the attack debuff, and they come in with their Greedent. I'm not going to be able to switch out here because both Dragalge, both Jellicent and Bewear don't really have great matchups against Greedent. I mean, Bewear is an okay matchup, but then again, obviously Shadow Claw is double resisted. So at this point, I'm going to go for the Gunk Shot here because we got the attack debuff. I don't expect them to shield. It's going to do a lot of damage, especially given the fact that it does stab as well. And even though Greedent is tanky, that is about 50% of Greedent's health there. And I'm going to shield this up here. I'm going to shield up this Crunch, and I'm going to try and farm this thing all the way down. And then we managed to win Switch Advantage, which is again really crucial because we can line up the Dragalge against the Serperior, right? They do come back with Serperior, which is interesting because this tells me that whatever they have at the back is also weak to Dragalge, right? Going to go for the Aquatail Shield Bait here. It does get the shield, which is best case scenario. And I'm not going to shield this because, again, it's hardly going to do any damage. Again, it's another Leaf Tornado here. Unfortunately, we get another attack debuff. I'm going to try and go for a Gunk Shot here. And again, I'm going to let this go through. We can survive another Leaf Tornado, which we barely do. Immediately switching into my Bewear here. I'm going to try and go for the Drain Punch right now, right? Again, this is where having Bewear in the back, especially when you can constantly buff up your defense, is going to really help, right? Because as the battle moves on, obviously those charge moves are going to do lesser and lesser damage. And I'm going to go for another Drain Punch against this Lickitung. This is really good because, again, we're both doing double resisted damage to each other. But then again, with the defense buff, Lick is hardly doing any damage, right? Against Lickitung here. So I'm going to try and go for as many Drain Punches as possible. They're going to go for a move. I'm going to shield this up. It's better off shielding the first few moves because as I go for more and more Drain Punches, the subsequent moves are hardly going to do any damage, right? Going to go for another Drain Punch here. Obviously, this is a slightly drawn out long battle because Lickitung is pretty tanky as well. Gonna let this go through. I mean, obviously we don't have any more shields, so it's gonna be a power rep. You can just see how less that does, right? That does like what, 20% of Bewear's health, which is fantastic. Going for another Drain Punch here, and then at this point I can just completely spam Drain Punches, right? We still have a full health Jellicent in the back, so we're pretty good here. But I want to definitely close it out with Bewear because this is a Bewear showcase after all. Another charge move is gonna be coming through. It is a Body Slam again. Hardly does anything, and we're almost running out here. The timer is running out. You can see it's a slightly long, drawn-out battle, especially with Bewear. You're going to have to spam those Drain Punches here, and we're going to be able to Shadow Claw down there. So we basically, we still had all 3 Pokemon left, and we were able to take it out there. But, I mean, as you can see, Bewear, like I said, towards endgame, when you can constantly buff up your defense, it can become really tanky. That's one of those reasons why I prefer Drain Punch over Superpower, because Superpower is going to debuff your defense, and Bewear, as glassy as it already is, it's going to be almost, it's going to be very difficult to manage towards endgame once you get the Superpower off. But another Altaria lead here, going for the Aquatail, and they do shield again, which is fantastic. And they're going to go for the Sky Attack here. And I think they kind of undercharged that because that probably should have done a little bit more, but we're able to get off another Dragon Tail, which is okay. I'm going to come in with Jellicent, and then at this point, I'm going to shield. I'm actually going to let this go through, again, saving both shields for Bewear here. And then immediately switching to my Bewear, and now I'm going to try and farm this thing down, right? I'm going to try and completely farm it down. We're able to farm down the Altaria, which is fantastic. They come in with an Alolan Marowak, best case scenario. I'm just going to go straight Payback right now. Near one-shots the Alolan Marowak there. I'm going to be able to Shadow Claw down as well. And then they have an Ariados in the back. This is absolutely beautiful. We still have a Jellicent in the back with a lot of loaded energy. And we have 2 shields as well. I'm going to shield this up. I'm going to try and close it out with Bewear again. I'm going to try and bait with Drain Punch because I went for Payback. They're probably expecting this to be a Payback. Go for the Drain Punch. It's double resisted, but it does get the shield. At this point, I can just go straight Payback right now. So I'm just going to shield this up. And then it is a Cross Poison, which is okay. Luckily, it wasn't a lunge because that would have debuffed our attack. But I'm going to go for the Payback here. And this is definitely going to one-shot the Ariados there. I mean, as you can see, it's just so satisfying to land the Payback. even though it doesn't really have stab, you can just see how much damage it does towards in game. So that was like a 5-0 set. It's like the only set that I managed to do. So I don't know if this is like the perfect sort of ideal showcase, because I mean, I'll probably get to have a better idea as I do more and more battles, but I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out in the Open Break League as well. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.